Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to episode 10 and 11 of the Cultured Pearls of Wisdom show. My name is Sabrina Harris, and I'm the visionary once again behind this amazing product and project that God has allowed us to put together, a platform for the people to be able to render their voice, their perspective, their experiences, and their beliefs for how to advance ourselves to a better day and a brighter tomorrow. I want to welcome to the table today some truly amazing individuals. Our lovely co-host, Coretta Talbot. Thank you for being here back with us and for everything that you have contributed to making this endeavor a truly tremendous success. Our videographer behind the scenes, the all-purpose, all-knowledgeable, all-doing Vell P Entertainment, Videography, and Photography. And to my immediate right, we're welcoming to the table a professional in her own right, nurse practitioner, Roshan Ridley McCray. To my immediate left, we're welcoming in her professional capacity, ER nurse Deborah Vell. And distant to the left, we're welcoming in her professional capacity as a respiratory therapist, we're none other than Priscilla Woods.
Hello.
And with that, we're going to open in prayer. It's become our staple and standard. We do nothing without giving honor and reference to God. And I'm going to look to Coretta to open us up in prayer.
Hearts and minds. God, we thank you for once again another episode, another experience with you, Father. We thank you for another gathering to talk about the things that impact us every day in one way or another. And God, as we come in this place, we know that your presence is here with us. God, let us speak from your heart. Let us speak from your word. Let us speak, God, from a passion that is sponsored by you. God, we ever give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And may this touch the heart of people that their lives will be transformed from the inside out. Amen.
Amen. So this is part 3 and a continuation of all of the dialogue that we've had surrounding Novell COVID-19 coronavirus. It has been a huge impact to today's society. It is something that we cannot ignore. But what God laid on my heart to do is to infuse more of a facts-based approach to this. Because to really come to viable solutions, you got to get to the facts, the reality. You got to understand and know what you're really dealing with. So as a professional, Coretta, and everybody at this table at this point, which is the reason we've done this, we understand that COVID-19 is not a scam. It's not a mystery. It's not a fleeting fantasy that somehow has been presented by the government to throw us off. It is a scientific fact. And it is such to the degree that is leading to many individuals being ill. It's changing lives in monumental ways. And the unfortunate culmination of this is that a lot of people have lost and will lose their lives. So the goal is to educate you in a way that it really resonates with you. That it resonates with you that no matter how many places in Palm Beach County and beyond reopen, you have a decision to make, or several decisions to make. Am I going to go? Am I going to put myself in these situations? Am I going to be committed to protecting myself and those that I love? God gives us the gift of knowledge and wisdom. He puts it right in front of us, but it's up to us to receive it. And that which we deny can definitely be our downfall and the downfall of many others. So I'm going to start this conversation today. Most of us know Coretta and myself. So we're going to position ourselves now to really bring the professionals at the tables. These ladies in their different capacities are working on a daily basis to save lives. And in the process, and I posted about this, the irony is they're putting their lives on the line. So I would start by honoring you ladies and honestly and truly saying thank you for your service and what you're choosing to do.
Thank you.
So Rashawn, let's start with you. Let's share a little bit about you as a person and a professional, and whatever else you want the world to know about who the woman that you are.
Wow. Thank you for inviting me here. This mask having on is very tiring.
Yes.
It really drains you.
Yes.
I'm a nurse practitioner. I work presently at Infectious Disease Associate of Palm Beach County with Dr. Leslie Diguez, and we cover Palm Beach Garden Hospital and Jupiter Hospital. My background is and started off at St. Mary's Hospital. I worked in many capacities, dialysis nurse, peritoneal dialysis, cardiac, ICU, CCU. I did travel nursing. I did it all.
Wow.
I also was a clinical manager for dialysis and peritoneal dialysis as well. I also currently am the founding member of Palm Beach County Black Nurses Association and the present president as well.
So you spearheaded this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also own 2 boards. I'm on the board of Sojourner with Healing Hearts. This is the African American support group for African American women.
Is that breast cancer?
Breast cancer for
Okay.
Black women. I end up facilitating along with Deidre Brown, who's a nurse practitioner. We do our monthly meetings, but due to COVID-19, it has been on pause. But we will resume our services once all this is over. And also with Palm Beach County Black Nurse Practitioner Association, I'm on the board advisories and I'm also the treasurer of that organization.
Wow.
And also, last but not least, I am a veteran. And I served in Desert Storm. I said to a friend of mine, who's a pastor at Antioch, Benjamin Carroll, I said at 25 years old, I was called back to Desert Storm. A war I didn't know anything about, very afraid and fearful. But now I'm 55 years old. What, 30 years later?
Yeah.
I'm in another war with an enemy I can't even see. And I'm more afraid of this enemy than I was at 25 years old.
Wow.
That's profound.
Wow, that is profound.
Wow.
And you can also, too, speak to what we have come to really, truly love, and that's mental health.
Yes.
Especially from a military perspective,
Yes.
understanding what you were exposed to. So I'm sure conversation is going to advance
Yes.
to that
Yes,
way.
it will. It most definitely will.
Amazing
Yes.
background.
Thank you.
I love to give people their props and respect, and that you started so young with a purpose. And I'm
Yes.
going to talk about that later today.
Oh, did I tell you, mention I'm FAU, a FAMU graduate?
Woo!
Yes. At FAMU.
I believe it's never in vain to tout what we have committed to doing.
Yes.
And I have much respect for it because it takes a lot to get to where each of you are. We all are. It
Yes.
takes a lot. So we honor you in that way.
Thank you.
Within all of that, what about personal?
My personal, I have a 21-year-old son, and he is my life. That's my heart.
So I know the George Floyd and all
that,
of this.
that
right
hit
now.
me hard.
Yes.
That really still working with me now because I had an incident with my son. He just had got his new car, bought his own car at 18 years old, saved his money up, and I was on my way with another nurse practitioner going to a function, and he called me. He said, "Mom, the police just pulled me over." I pulled over. I said, "Let me pull over." I stopped the car. I said, "Keep me on speaker."
Yes.
And he said, "Okay." I said, "How many cops?" He said, "Just one." Then he said, "Wait a minute. I see 5 more cars came up." My heart just dropped.
Yes.
I said, "Keep me on speaker, baby." He's in Wellington. He works at the Wanderers in Wellington,
Okay.
and he goes there. And he said the police came up. My son been taught not to reach over because his brother, his uncle, which is my brother, is a police officer in Miami. My older brother is a correctional officer and a bailiff in Okeechobee County. That's where I'm from, born and raised in Okeechobee County.
Okay.
And he knows, he taught him, everybody, but he said, "Ma, he reached over." And the police can't reach for him, has a gun. And he came and he said, the guy told him never do that.
Yes.
And he said, "Ma, I got nervous. I got scared."
Yes.
So he did that. But they just told him slow down.
Yeah.
Just gave him a warning because he said he didn't feel like he was speeding that fast and stuff. And that was it.
But that's such a valid and profound point because I know that I have, being honest, I have been pulled over for speeding several times.
Yeah, we don't have
I-95 was my friend when I was young. I used to want to gun it and just go.
Just go, right?
Albeit I know now much better. But there is a sense of fear.
Yes, it was.
You
scary. I was so
become
scared.
nervous. You're like, because honestly, until they walk up to the car and tell you why, you can assume,
Yeah,
Right.
but you don't know why.
Don't know why.
And I think that's important to put out into the highway that for as much as the officer is probably nervous and trying to keep him or herself safe,
Right.
we in the car trying to figure out how do we navigate this situation as well.
Mhm.
That's right.
Do I have my license? How many times
Right.
have we walked out, ladies, and left our purses
Yeah,
and didn't have
exactly.
this and didn't have that?
Right.
And all
Yeah,
of that. So that's amazing. Amazing segue to bring it full circle. And your son, anything else you want to share?
But he's currently at FAU, and guess what he's studying? To be a lawyer.
Awesome.
He's an advocate. He researches a lot. I'm so proud of him. That's my joy right now.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Awesome.
And I'm in a nice, successful relationship that's long distance. But it's
Okay,
going
girl,
well.
yes.
There are good.
Sometimes I say you need a break.
There's still left out there, So yes, been going strong for years. So in the future, will be wedding bells coming.
Beautiful.
This pandemic, but God is good. He's sent me a great man.
I think that's amazing. And to know what works for you inside of love. I tell everybody everything doesn't work for everybody.
Exactly.
You have to understand what works for you.
Exactly.
Beautiful. I must say, I'm loving your makeup and all of that.
Yeah.
For those who kind of, slay a little bit with the mask, it's been throwing me all off. I just received my order of masks. I had a few blinged out, and I said, I got to put some kind of fashion style to this. But
at work, when this first started, I go to work every day. They call me the NP diva at work because I come in every day with a different type of and like matching mask. Yeah, they like everybody's like, I'm waiting to see what you're wearing today. I'm like,
but doesn't
it boost you up, and also it let the other patient that's not COVID when you go into their room. They like to see that some joy, some life in you. Because think about it, you already in there. Your family can't come see you. No one comes see you. So it's a lot on your psyche. It really is.
I love the word you use, and Coretta, I'm going to segue to you because that's what I said for me. My psyche is at risk here, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you recommend, especially to professionals who are suiting up and going out here every day? What would you say?
I would definitely say I've seen it actually on the news a number of times where the actual nurses or doctors, they took a mental break, a physical break, but it was for their mental. Like in the sense of they allow themselves to be human. I've seen where they cry. Like and they of course you don't do that in front of your patients, but you can't suppress like the impact it's having on you as a human. Sometimes you can't wait till you get in the car to cry. Sometimes you need to go to the restroom and release. Like let that out, recharge, reflect, breathe, and then you go back in there. And of course, we walk in our faith in Jesus Christ. We know He's with us. But I do believe there are physical things, and that's one thing I can say because although you all not just were before, now you're being really recognized as heroes, which you already were, right? But even being a hero, every Superman needs, they need to recharge. So definitely, before you're a nurse, you're a human. So if you're in the midst of it, don't feel like I'm on the job. No, like listen, if I have to take me a quick break, really quick, and release because your body, your psyche, we're talking about is going through something. But physically, your body, and I tell people, your tears is a way of your body releasing that pressure. So let it off and just remember that because you are gifted to do what you're doing. That's naturally there. You've been educated and all of that, but you're still a human. And I'm like, well, I'm on the front line or the back line. If I need to have a moment, if it's 2 minutes, just give me a 2 quick minutes.
If I could videotape how I'm sitting in my car and prepare myself, I'm like, oh, Jesus, I need you today. I need you to fill me up and build me up and get me ready because I know what I'm going into. And I honestly,
it's a battlefield every day.
I have cried with clients. I have cried with people who've lost loved ones. I have cried with people who have mentally broke. And I'm just like the only person there in the moment for them. They don't really have family. They don't really have anyone. So I've learned to say, be true to who you are. And it does not relinquish you, even for a male in these positions. It is okay to be human. Deborah, what would you say about that?
I would say I agree with Coretta 100%. There was a time when, like when the COVID first came, I was working. I had a couple COVID patients. I was fine. Mentally, I was fine. So I thought. Then all of a sudden, I just got these chills all over me. And my coworker was sitting there, and I was just crying. She was like, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know. I'll be back. I went in the bathroom. When I tell you I had about a good 15-minute cry, and I'm not a crier. I don't cry. You have to move a mountain to make me cry. And this day, and even today, it's more easy for me to cry, and that's uncomfortable for me because I'm not used to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it is true. I mean, it messes with your psyche,
Yes.
like you wouldn't believe, because you walk in a room and you looking at a patient and he can't or she can't breathe.
Yes.
Nothing matters when you can't breathe.
Yes.
You hear me? When you can't take that deep breath in or you can't get your breath, nothing matters.
Yeah.
So it's really sad and it's really heartbreaking, to be honest with you all, to see that. So that's, that's where I'm at.
And you brought up a point that resonates with me, because when I saw the video of George Floyd, I cried.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I sit there and I boo-hoo cried.
Yes.
And if you weren't touched by that, I don't know. But to hear him plead for his life, because I know what it feels like to almost drown when you're trying to learn how to swim. I know what it feels like not to be, thank God I don't have asthma or anything like that, but I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like coming out of surgery anesthesia,
Right.
and that heaviness and that weight where you're really trying to get all your skill sets and faculties together. But I can't fathom 8, almost 9 minutes.
Yes.
Can't breathe.
I cannot fathom that. I still cannot wrap my mind around it. Even for the patients with the COVID-19, you're sequestered.
Yes.
So if your legacy is to leave this earth, is to transition on, you're doing it alone.
Yes. Alone.
I can't have my family around me. I can't have my friends around me.
Right.
That within itself makes the death even more impactful. So it takes us back to the reality. If we can avoid putting ourselves in that position, why would we do it? What about you, Priscilla? What would you say on this?
Before I get started, I would like to take a moment to thank you for giving me this opportunity
Yes.
to speak on this panel with all these educated, phenomenal Black women.
Amen. Amen.
I've been a respiratory therapist for 19 years. My name is Priscilla Woods.
Yes, ma'am.
I was born and raised right here in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm a mother of 2 adult children. I have a Black son and a daughter.
Yes.
And I'm a grandmother to my lovely Carter, who I love so much.
Carter is spoiled.
My motto in this life, Sabrina, is if I can help someone along this journey called life,
Yes.
then my living wouldn't have been in vain.
Amen. That's right. Amen.
The role of the respiratory therapist, we have demanding responsibilities related to patient care, and we serve as vital members of the healthcare team.
Yes.
Along with having an extensive knowledge of the cardiopulmonary system, we respiratory therapists must be experts in the machines. The machines that you hear them talking about, the COVID patients on,
Yes. The
we're
ventilators
the
and all
experts that manage the ventilators.
Okay.
This would involve managing patients on ventilators and artificial airways, such as trachs. We also counsel patients with asthma, smoking cessation, and so much other things that we do. But our work involves critical thinking skills, assessment skills. You gotta have critical thinking skills. You gotta know when you walk in the room and your patient can't breathe, you gotta know that they can't breathe. They can't always tell you, I can't breathe. You gotta know. And that comes from having those critical and assessment skills. We also have to have knowledge in advanced, evidence-based clinical practice, which allows us to care for and treatment of the disease plans. As a respiratory therapist, I'm here to serve. I never see myself as a hero. I see myself as going in, assisting my patient, and doing whatever I can. I'm also a member of 100 Black Women West Palm Beach chapter, where we advocate on behalf of women and children. As going into this field 19 years ago, my son suffered an asthma attack at the age of 2.
Wow.
Didn't know how I could help him. Didn't know there were retractions at the time, but I saw him breathing and I know he couldn't catch his breath. Took him to the hospital. He ended up staying the night, and that started me to do some research to find out, this is important. If you can't breathe, then nothing else matters. And so as I sit on this platform and I think about the COVID patients, at my facility, we don't take care of COVID patients. We recover them. Sometimes they can be recovered. Sometimes they come and their mentation is not the same. Sometimes they can't be taken off the ventilator. Their lungs are shot.
Wow.
Sometimes they end up on dialysis. So when I hear us talking about it's a governmental scam, it could be a governmental scam, but one thing we need to know, when we get it, it's real.
Yes. Yes.
And hundreds and thousands of people are dying from it.
I think that's such a profound point that no matter how it originated,
Yeah.
Right.
no matter the origin, it's a
here.
reality.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Yeah.
here.
It's a reality. So why get caught up in that? Why
Right.
get stuck?
That's right.
Right.
And you know what I'd like to ask, Sabrina? While we're going down these wormholes talking about it's a conspiracy, we need to think a little positive and try to educate people
Absolutely.
Yes.
on
Yes.
how we can take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. Because one thing I do know rather is that science is a fact.
Yes.
It's not fiction.
Most
Right.
DNA is what it is.
Yes.
That's how it proves or disproves.
Yeah.
So if we lean to that understanding that I'm in a facts-based mode, I'm in a solution-oriented mode.
Right.
And I'm going to learn as much as I can to be on the side of doing what is necessary to live and help others survive. I think that's how we should position ourselves.
I believe so.
If we're going to get past this and through this, let's take that stance. If we want to go later and sit down and huddle up and say, well, Prissy, it could have been this and it could have been that. That's later.
Yeah,
But
that's
do you
right
do that
now.
in survival mode?
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
Have you ever watched Survivor or Naked and Afraid when they're out there
Yes,
in
exactly.
the element?
Yeah, it's
Do
like
they
trying to
ponder,
survive.
I wonder if this coconut was planted here for me, or do they go and get the
They
coconut
go
and
in.
and eat it?
They're just trying to survive.
They go
I keep
in.
saying our mentality is
Yeah.
everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they huddle up at night? Well, I wonder if they sprayed something for the rain to come so we didn't have any covering. What do you see them doing? They pulling trees,
That's right.
bushes,
Trying to protect
plants,
themselves.
trying
Yes.
to protect themselves.
Yes.
We're in survival mode.
That's
We
right.
are.
In
Also,
our mindset.
with it, like you said, like she said, it's a scam. I tell people, they're like, oh, we just in halftime. I say, no, we're in Florida. It's the hurricane, baby.
Yeah.
Let's think about it. We're in the eye right now.
Yes,
That's
So
right.
when that hurricane comes, that first, it's not, we don't know. That eye come, we don't know what's devastation coming next.
That's
When
right.
that second wave comes,
Absolutely.
it might be minor.
Right.
Or it
We
might
don't
be
know.
major. We
Right.
don't know.
That's right. We
So-
don't
And
know.
for the past 3 consecutive years, God has spared us
Yes, He
from
has.
Category 5 that has
Amen.
hit
Thank you.
other
Amen.
people
Thank you.
in
Amen.
places.
Amen.
It was gunning right for us. Take
Yes.
that in.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Bahamas,
Yes.
Puerto Rico, all these different
Everybody
places.
but us.
It was coming right for us.
It turned.
And that tells me that we have some praying people
Oh, yes.
Amen.
in Florida.
Because God ain't happy with us.
No.
No,
He's not happy
Come
with
on.
us.
No.
Because God keeps
He's not
showing
happy.
me and telling
Yes.
me I'm not going to keep protecting
Right.
this foolishness.
He's not happy
It's
with
because of the people who I do not want to perish, that
Yes.
others have been
Right.
spared. But I'm not
Yeah.
going to keep doing it
Mhm.
if you don't turn from your evil ways
Come on.
Right.
collectively.
Come on.
That's right.
Come on.
Collectively.
Come on.
You can't
Yes.
deny that. I said, my God, 3 times.
Yes.
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 And we playing Russian roulette, and
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah.
We go right back to the same.
Yeah.
I'm looking at when God spares us, all the news, they don't know what they're talking
Right.
about.
Yes.
They report it wrong. No,
Yeah,
why you
right.
can't give God the credit that
That's
he
right.
deserves?
Right.
That's right.
Coretta, how do you, come on. I know you fuming. I know it's in there. Come on, why you can't give God the credit that he deserves?
Even one of the governors of the governor of New York, I'll call it what it is. He basically came on live TV and he said it with an attitude. He wasn't just saying, you know how you can say stuff, just saying
Yes,
it.
yeah.
But he had all the energy to go with it and everything.
Uh-huh.
God did not do this. It wasn't prayers. It wasn't a miracle. We did this. The numbers are going down because of us. And I said, oh, Jesus, we really in trouble. Well, they really in trouble now.
No.
And it's like and the thing about it is, and not turning it to, you know how we roll so spiritually.
Yes,
Yes.
But our greatest issue in this world is sin. It is,
Yes.
that's the
Our
root of
sin
it.
nature.
It is
Yes.
sinful
Yes.
nature.
Yes.
And what I believe the only cure for sin is Jesus Christ. Like I'm just saying, like,
How does anyone walk on this land
And
and
not
think
think
it's
that.
everything that they've done? It's nothing that we've done.
But I want to pause and let your question echo, because now you'll come to understand. That's why we as mental health professionals say we can't pick and choose.
No.
We can't cherry pick. Because
Right.
do you deserve wholeness and wellness and everything else, even though you don't believe?
Right.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
Because
But
God
it's
says,
how we walk.
Yes.
And I want you to not forget this. It's how we walk in front of these individuals who don't believe. It's how we speak. It's how we portray ourselves. It's what we present to them.
Yes.
I want you to be excited about understanding why I'm so excited about God.
Right.
I want you to understand what He's done in my life and what He's capable of doing in yours. So in addition to our faith-based mindsets, our belief in God and His Son Jesus Christ, and that we're triune beings, that we come mind, body, and spirit, it is our duty, in a sense. First duty is to do no harm.
Right.
But I believe it's our duty to role model this to people, especially if they're in crisis. If I'm alone and sequestered and I'm about to leave here, I would love for you to give me a good word.
Oh, yes.
Probably would love for you to pray with me and hold my
Right.
hand and do whatever you can to be a solace to me. But we have to be in position. That's what God showed me.
Oh, yes.
Those who He have called and those He has put in certain places, we've got to be in position and always ready.
And know your place.
And know your place. And know what you're capable of.
Exactly.
Is it prayer? Is prayer your thing? If it's not, what is it? Is it speaking a good word and motivating people?
Yes.
Know what your
You gotta know
calling
what you're
is
called to
and
do.
be in position. But not also always be in position, but be willing.
And you know, I always tell my patients I fill them out because everyone don't have a belief.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Of course.
But when I talk to some of my patients and I can tell that they trust and they believe in God,
Yes.
then I give them that word. I give them that word. And I tell them,
That's a ticket.
I tell you, I know the doctors told you this, that, and the other, but I want you
have
to
that
know there's a God that
Amen.
says
Exactly.
you
Amen.
better put your faith and trust in Him, and you better look to the hills
Amen.
from what's coming to your help, and know that all your help comes from the Lord. Yeah, you sick.
Come on.
Yeah, you on a ventilator.
Yes.
But God ain't say this the end.
on.
You better believe it. You want to get off this ventilator, then you need to breathe.
Yes.
And that's how you have to
Yes.
work it and talk to them.
course.
Put some encouragement into them.
You just gave me chills. Because I never forget a traffic accident when I arrived on the stretcher at the ER and the ER doctor comes in later. He's looking at me like and says, I don't know how you survived this.
Wow.
Let me tell you how I
Oh,
survived
Yeah.
this. And how I walked up out of there.
Yes.
I was hurt. I had injuries, but my life.
Come on.
I said, but tell you how I survived this. Because they don't realize. You have medical and all of this, but God trumps all of that.
Yes.
Miracles still do happen.
Come on.
Everybody around me, we had church in that hospital today because it's not my time.
Yes.
Right.
I got some things to do.
Yes.
God want me to
Oh,
do.
yes.
The enemy's attack did not work.
Right.
That's right.
But the reality is, yes, looking medically and logistically, I shouldn't be here.
Right.
But put God
I have
on
the
the
last word.
Come on.
That's right.
But we
Amen.
all have a reason to be here.
Of
Like
course,
I was
purpose.
saying, I forgot what movie. You got to know your purpose. When you learn your purpose while you're here on
Is
this
it
earth,
Overcomer?
I can't remember what
Okay.
it was. It was
Okay.
something I can't recall right now. But you got to know your purpose. I know my purpose was to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Yes.
My son, I remember he was graduating high school. I said, RJ, what do you want to be? I don't know, Mom. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? I couldn't fathom that because we was growing up, either you were a teacher, nurse, police officer, business person. That's it. We didn't have many options. But now our kids have so many a plethora of things they can go to. So I was like, I knew at 12 years old I wanted to be a nurse. I always wanted to help people.
Yes.
I taught my grandmother how to read. At first I thought I would be a teacher. Then I said, no. God said, no, you're going to be a nurse.
Wow.
In that nursing, you can be a
I
teacher.
can't teach exactly what he gave me that
Yeah.
vision. So I teach. I can do both.
That's a good point.
I can do both. So I'm like, that's what I love to do. And one thing my patients tell me when I come in the room, they say, I don't know. Everybody always asks me, where are you from? Time to meet me. I'm like, what do you mean? Born and raised in Florida. You sound country. I said, well, I'm from a small town called Okeechobee County.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, born and raised there. So my little country swing accent sometimes go, but they say you have a common spirit. I love when you come in the room.
Yes.
All my patients tell me that.
Yes, you do.
But Dr. Diaz, she told me, she said, you my nurse practitioner, all my patients remember you.
Wow.
Right.
They remember you.
Wow.
Because the way you present yourself when you come in the room.
And I know
That's
that
a
makes
big
a
deal.
difference.
That's
a big deal.
patient care.
Yes.
And like you said,
It is.
give them hope and courage to get well.
Yes.
To get well. You got to make sure they know you have the faith to get well. You have the power to get well. No one else but you.
Right.
You got to have the energy. Everything's come from within.
I'm going to piggyback on that, and Coretta, if you have anything to say, and then we're going to go to Deborah. But I want to say, emphasize purpose.
Yes.
Because I don't recall in school anybody talking about purpose.
Come on.
I don't recall in my household as
No,
much as my parents
No.
gave us. And nobody talked to me about purpose.
No.
I don't recall as much as I went to church.
No, it's so
Nobody
true.
talked to me about purpose. So if I could have been in tune to understanding that I'm here on assignment early in my life,
Yes.
I could have been trying to figure that out.
Right.
It wouldn't have took years and experiences and all of this later to figure out
Wasn't
that
your
God
time
had
yet.
called
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is,
Wasn't
is
your
it.
time yet.
I said
Yes.
it was. I had to go through.
We had to go
Yes,
through that.
ma'am.
We had to go
Yes.
through that.
You see how powerful that
Yes.
is?
Yes.
God showed
Yes.
me that seasoning and that
Yes.
experiences
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
things that you go through.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
needed you to grab onto that.
Right.
So
right.
you could do this.
That's right.
Isn't it timely in your work
Yes.
when you
Yes.
just know?
When it's your
Or
time.
you could speak a
Yes.
good
Yes.
word
Yes.
and you like, where did that come from?
Exactly.
You all proud lady.
Yes.
You like, okay, God,
Yes.
you showing out
That's
through
right.
me.
Amen.
But we draw from our experiences.
Yeah.
But if we teach our individuals from the time you are implanted, released from heaven, and in the womb, you have a purpose.
Come on.
That's right.
You're here on assignment.
Right.
It's greater than you.
That's right.
And the goal is
Amen.
to figure it out. And once you get there, I promise you, it's good. Isn't it good?
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
We're all not doing the same thing, but it's
Yes,
good.
good.
So when you would say that, because I was a teen mom. I had my daughter at 19. I was at home living with my mom, like you said. No one spoke of purpose.
Yes.
Right.
I had Dominique, got married, been married this year, will be 32 years.
Bless you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I wanted to do. Had different jobs, worked in the school system, was over here working as a
How
CNA,
many?
was over here doing this.
Yes, ma'am.
Just wasn't my purpose yet. But when it was my time, there was no stopping me.
Right.
I always say the P in Priscilla stands for perseverance
Yes.
and
Come on now.
persistence.
Come on now.
Because when it comes, I'm going to get it.
Hey,
I don't
that's
stop
right.
until I get
I
it.
know that's
But
right.
I just thank God that He took me through everything
Come on,
that I went through
Mhm.
so I could sit here for such a time as this.
Right.
So, Deborah, I want you to speak on this and everybody at this table. Because I've had to go back and forgive people.
Mm.
I had to forgive them for what they did not know
Yes.
and what they couldn't
Exactly.
teach me.
Yes.
And that includes my parents.
Yes.
I had to forgive them. But I know now, and it's my ownership to give it to my kids and my grandkids and those around me. You see how that works?
Yes.
It's innocent when you don't know.
Right.
But when you do, it's now a sense of responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Deborah, what would you say to that?
Well, let me just back up just a minute. Just like you were saying, everybody knows their purpose in life. I posted something on Facebook, and I was just saying to everybody, during this marching, everybody can do something.
Yes.
Your purpose is to do something.
Yeah.
Whether you babysit for the person who's going
Yes.
to march. If you're a marcher, then you go march. If you want to sit home and take people to the protesting site, then that's what you do. You do what you do. You know what I mean? I'm a nurse. I could stand on sideline, do whatever nurses do or whatever. You could, you assess breathings or, you can, do whatever you do. You do a lot.
Yes.
A lot. You know what I'm saying? So your spectrum is broad. But I just feel like everybody can do something. Your purpose is first to do something in life.
And that's the structural organization of anything. A good business has position.
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody in that business is not doing the same thing.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of
Exactly.
people,
right.
okay, I'm gonna let you
Yes.
go there,
Yes.
but everybody is not meant to be in the front.
No,
That's
Yeah.
right.
But do you
Right.
understand
Yes.
the back end is just important to
Absolutely.
accounting and
Absolutely.
all of these protocols,
Yes.
policies, and
Yes.
procedures?
Yes.
It's all relevant.
I always say the custodian is just
Come on.
important
Yes.
as the CEO of the
Yes.
hospital.
Not the most
Yes.
important
Yes.
because he's
Right.
the one that keeps the
Yes,
germs
ma'am.
away.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yeah, he's the one that keeps you healthy.
Yes,
Exactly.
most definitely.
But it goes back to knowing your role.
Yeah.
And
Right.
knowing we were not sent
That's
here
right.
to do everything. That's where the jealousy and competition
Come on.
gets
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Yes.
On any given day.
Right.
Because you weren't meant to be Sabrina.
Right.
I wasn't
That's
meant
right.
to be Priscilla.
Yes.
I love you,
Yes.
Queen, but I wasn't meant to be
That's
Deborah.
right.
No.
There's no way I can be Coretta. God has put something on her that's phenomenal. And Roshan, you
Yes.
have your own way. But
Yes.
even coming from Okeechobee County,
Yes.
Yes.
look at what you've shown people.
Come on.
Yes.
Look at
Come on,
what
yes.
we can achieve and attain in spite of what you may feel
Yes.
about a
Mhm.
small town.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's
That's
not
right.
where I come from.
That's right.
It's where I made it to.
I think about Joseph
Hello.
when we was talking about purpose, and many people in the Bible, when they were called, even Moses, God allowed them to get a glimpse or to get a notion of what their purpose was, or just what they would become.
Yes.
And they were in the midst of, like, you talking about me, Jesus? I can't even talk straight. Moses, like me, and then here this Joseph was sold away to his brothers. He didn't been claimed of this, and he didn't went to jail. His whole journey was just so much.
Yeah.
But that purpose was still on his life. But like we said, the things that sometimes we go through, sometimes by our own selves, but God is still in us with them. He brings us out. But then sometimes God is like, I'm going to take you through a journey, but the purpose is still there.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, God brings it all together for His good, not for our good, because it don't always feel, because it ain't about us. And I'm glad God said for my good. So that means He's not going to just put us through pain and sorrow and want us to be on the side of the road looking crazy. No, but God is so intentional. And I think too, I speak to the part to say, when we talk about us going into these places, there's many times in mental health, and I'm sure you guys can say this in nursing. Just yesterday, I'm on the phone with I had a transition happen for a family session for family counseling, and the lady said, and the previous therapist, and I'm very protective of my co-fellow, my co-fellow people in the field, whether I do things how they do or not. I try to protect them, but I still stand for what's right.
Right.
But and she wasn't trying to say, but I told my lawyer, I just, it's something about you. I was saying in the background, so she didn't hear me, but I'm like, baby, that's Jesus. That's the Holy Spirit. So I get it. So when we have Him in us, we don't have to be like, oh, Jesus or die.
People can see it.
Yes.
People can see it.
Listen, baby, you might not want to call it what it is, but I know what it is.
That's right.
And that spirit is going to continue to work. So I think when we go in suited up spiritually.
Yes.
As well. I can't come into no room and I ain't got on my spiritual garments, because I'm coming in physically, but there's a spiritual war happening in the atmosphere. That's why when people throw their attitude out and they may say something, look, I ain't going to even attack you in the natural, because baby, I'm going to look behind the scenes, because I know you really coming from a jealous heart, a bitter spirit. You got some trust issues. Come on. So I'm going to attack that first before I try to come at you in the natural realm, because if I could get it there, then. But purpose, I just wanted to point that out. Purpose is so intentional and directed by God.
Yes.
And even through Joseph's journey, even his brothers had to come back. He had to serve them. And they was afraid to even, come eat at the famine was happening. He had to look out for them.
But even in the Bible, the context of the Bible, all of the stories, when I really began to read them, God used some very dysfunctional.
Come on, what?
Yes.
What? Did it? What?
But He was able to bring that thing
Right
full circle that lets you know that we are all worthy, no matter our state, but God can use us.
Yes.
But then it's up to us to come out of that broken state.
We're all
And that
broken
is from somebody. So if you coming to me and you presenting perfectly and you're formed and you're crafted, that's probably not going to be the environment I want to be in. I want to be in an environment with imperfect, real people, transparent people, who going to share a story kind of people, who going to help you really say, oh sis, I co-sign that because I've been through that.
Been there.
You got to.
If you ain't been nowhere, then you can't tell nobody. You can't go nowhere.
I don't know many people who are going to want to hear it.
That's where Facebook come into play at.
Right.
You see, a lot of people, they have a wonderful life on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
But that's young people. It's Facebook.
Yes.
And you'll sit there, oh, I'm happy. If you're happy, why you have to say you're happy?
Right.
Yes.
You don't have to know what's going on and stuff. And a lot of people mess with the psyche, Facebook. A lot of people, oh, she have a good life. I'm going to kill myself because look at her. She's always happy.
Yes.
She's always, they're not happy.
Yeah.
Look at how she looks with filters. If I don't want, I put eyelashes on, I can go put them on later. But I'm going to tell you, no sis, that's a filter.
And I post on Facebook every day. I don't know if you all my friends, I know you are. I know you're not, Miss Deborah. I post positive sayings every day. And I always say that's a part of my life. I've been through something. So when I can post that, I'm letting you know I'm sharing it with you.
But I'm going to co-sign you today and say it lines up. Because you can't post all that good stuff on social media. And when I meet you, my spirit don't agree. When I meet you, you got all this negative stuff to say. No, sis, no. We ain't doing that, sis, no. And I'll be the first one to call it because we have to do things the right way.
That's right.
Deborah, from your standpoint, I know you've been an ER nurse. I'm sure you see a lot of suicide attempts come in.
Yes.
You see a lot of that. So a lot of times, I know I have seen people that I'm friends with on Facebook. Then I see them in the hospital that come in to see me as their nurse practitioner. Oh, I didn't know you work here. But I'm like, okay. But on Facebook, you having all this. And you just depressed.
Let me pause because that's a great segue. So we're going to pick up. We're going to take a break now because I really want you to be able to introduce yourself and share about what you do, and then let's go into
the ER thing.
The ER and the suicidal aspect and all of that.
Right.
So we're going to pause for the cause. We really don't pause, but we're going to pause for the cause.
I like that.
And we'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh, cool.
We would like to thank our sponsors, the House of Loveillionaires. Coretta Talbot. Coretta speaks life. Harris Boys Photography. Young men of distinction.
So welcome back to the table. And as I said, we don't really break. A lot of amazing dialogue off camera, but it was some very personal stuff that came out. So much more to the degree that there's some events and different things that's going to happen, be birthed out of this, because there's just so much lived experiences and substance at this table, and we're definitely going to share it. So Deborah, we want to segue to you and give you an opportunity to introduce yourself personally and professionally. And one of the things that came out, we'd love for you to emphasize, Roshan brought it up, and we're just going to capitalize on the moment of suicidal ideations, particularly in your realm, and you'll explain more what you do and where you are and the relevance of that.
Okay. My name is Deborah Vell. I'm a mother of 4 grown children. I have 11 grandchildren,
Wow.
which they are a blessing. They really, from the ages of 1 till 14.
Wow.
Yes. I'm married. I've been married now for the past 21 years. I'm a resident of Riviera Beach. Have been here my whole entire life. Never lived anywhere else.
Wow.
But right here. And I love Riviera Beach. Although we got a lot of things to accomplish and a lot of things
That's
to do.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. But I love my city. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for the past 17 years. As a matter of fact, I was an LPN for the past 13 years and an RN for the last 4 or 5 years. I think it's about 5 years now. And I love my job.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I would do it for free if I could. I mean, if I had to, I would. Because one thing about a nurse, we're teachers, and I love to teach.
Yes.
I love to educate people on things that I know about.
Yes.
What's in, what I know. So I'm a ER nurse. I work in a small hospital out in the Western County, and I love it.
Beautiful.
It's small. It's a little quaint little hospital, and I love it out there.
Okay, what is your patient base like? Who do you interact with?
We basically interact. We have a lot of interaction with the Indians out there. We have a lot of farmers because they do a lot of farming out there, and it's so funny because we have people come in who's been in car accidents who hit cows. And I just can't fathom that because I'm sitting there. How would you hit a cow, right?
You see the cow there?
Right. But the roads are very nice.
Right.
So it's very, very
easy to
But
do.
I love Clewiston. I really do. And I love my people out there.
And I found a good, wholesome nature to the people in the Western communities. I mean, even during my DCF days and going out and investigations, different stuff like that was happening, even with CHS, there were the people like, you over here? Come on by. Oh, I done cooked and, you know, all of this stuff, this is homely. And I'm like, y'all, I'm your business. Come on by. They just but just good quality people. And I told my husband that even when I met him, because he's from the deep South, Pelham, Georgia,
Oh,
Camilla, Georgia.
oh,
So I was like, what? Never heard of it. I'm over here. But it's like even you drive a certain distance and you're off the grid. I didn't see no towers, my electronics wasn't working. He thought it was the most hilarious thing. I even have a picture of me in the cotton field with stilettos on. Fully dressed up. And I'm picking cotton. It was such an experience.
Right.
But the people,
So warm-hearted.
everybody had to meet me.
Yes.
Everybody had to see me. Everybody had to cook. I was like, I don't know what y'all doing around here. But they just love on you. And to be in an element where there's not much, but people don't rest on that. Oh, I'm fine with what I got. I'm fine. I don't need all that. I don't want all that. This will do me just fine.
That's right.
And that's just a basic attitude that really will serve us well. That sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You gotta achieve this and gotta have this and gotta be all blinged out and have the final car and everything else.
Yes.
And you're working just to live.
Yes.
Only because society says that's what you need
Yes,
in order
exactly
to be
right.
important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
right.
don't have those material things and you're nothing to them.
But with the COVID-19 pandemic, you see what's important.
leveled
Oh,
everybody.
yes.
Okay.
That's right.
I know, because like now what this year, like in our ancestors back in the day, all the blacks in the hospital have this on their head.
Yes.
It looks like back, you know.
I love when they had the little hats, the
Yeah.
crisp little hats and stuff like that.
This our norm now. This the
Yes,
norm.
it is.
So it's like you flow with it.
Yeah,
So
I don't think it'll ever go back right away to what it used to be.
To be honest,
COVID's going to be here for a long time.
and I pray we never go back. This is a season of redefinement and how to progress forward in a better way. Because SARS never went away.
No.
Ebola never went away.
Exactly.
All of these viruses and diseases and different things, HIV and AIDS is still prevalent.
Yes.
Being an infectious disease nurse practitioner, COVID-19 is going to be like HIV.
Yes.
Until they get a vaccine that everybody, that's years and years from now, but you're going to have to learn to live with it.
Yes.
Those the main thing. Once you learn how to live with it, you'll be fine. Wash your hands. And don't touch your face. It's hard to do.
Yes,
but
it is.
like I said too, they're getting ready to be open. And now we was quarantined for like 2 months, basically.
Yes.
If you didn't wash your hands before that 2 months,
Yes,
what?
right.
Was you home every day washing your hand, practicing?
I know.
No,
I
you
just
wasn't.
told y'all my skin's so dry.
Yeah, so people not used to
Bleaching
doing
and
that.
washing.
Yeah, so it's
Sanitize.
like
Keep doing it.
And speaking of vaccines, I hear them talking
Amen. Let's
about
talk
they making
about
a
that.
vaccine. I hope whoever is all watching don't take no vaccine.
I
It takes a
second
long
I say
time
you're a
to
guinea
make a
pig at that
vaccine.
point.
Yes. That's
Yes.
the main thing. A lot of people it'll be years before people take that vaccine
Yes.
because we don't know. This
Absolutely.
virus is so new, you still don't know because you have people come in with different symptoms.
Yes.
I see it every day.
Yes.
Some people come in asymptomatic.
Yes.
We have a patient come in scheduled for surgery. Okay, they'll call me down. We have a consult for you. The patient tests positive. No fever,
Nothing.
no cough,
Yes.
no shortness of breath, no nothing. Sitting in the bed, just chilling.
Yep. But then you can have
on O2, nothing. I'm like, no. I said, oh, okay, asymptomatic.
But isn't that a powerful reality? And even I know personally, and I'm just saying this, I would never call names. I know individuals who's tested positive and they're not saying anything.
yes.
You remember that was a big
Yes.
thing with HIV and AIDS?
Yes.
People would
Yes.
test because there is a stigma
It's a stigma.
associated with
Yes.
it.
They don't want to let people know because you go look down upon me.
Yes.
Right.
Because I have it. But no, I'm not going to look down upon you. Just make sure you don't wear your mask and do the proper social distancing so we can be safe.
And that lends to now some people advancing into suicide.
Yes.
right.
So what is your experience?
Speaking of suicide, I also work at the Palm Beach County Jail.
Yes.
And that's where suicide is prevalent in the jail, especially amongst our black men.
Wow.
And the community doesn't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't hear about it.
Mostly it's a cry for help. They'll cut just
Yes.
superficial,
Yes.
but nobody understands me. Nobody, and so you have to take that time to sit and listen. Even if they're talking about, it's like a word salad. I mean, they're talking and talking and not making any sense. But you let them get it out, spit it out of the
I
spirit.
say that all the time.
Yes, and even black women, in the jail, mental health is big.
Yeah.
Suicide, we have to watch them. Thank God, we haven't had many suicide deaths in the jail recently. But of course there have been people who have succeeded at suicide. We have a program that watches these people and interact with these people and give them advice and show them that you're human and you are loved. If somebody does care about you.
Wow.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are just that mentally ill to the point where they can't even understand what you're telling them. So suicide is very big amongst our black community. Suicide attempts, put it that way.
And I'll
It's called
say,
for suicide.
even successful, and from a mental health perspective, is to understand that there's a continuum of care that is necessary.
Yes.
Once you reach a
Absolutely.
suicidal state, and for people who don't believe suicidal ideations are real, I'm looking at the camera and say, yes, they are.
Yes.
For the people who advance to a state where they're really believing that life has no worth, no meaning, even if in the moment, a lot of it is reactionary. For this moment, this is the way that I feel, and I act or react on it. But I found that a continuum of care, to include therapy, sometimes psychotropic medication is necessary. But this is also too very important, and I'm speaking this to the masses. Your first connection with therapy or a therapist may not be the answer for you. Everybody is not suited for everybody.
Right.
Especially on a therapeutic journey where you now have to develop trust. You have to be willing to be transparent. Because usually the ideations stem from depression and trauma and all of these different things that you have to be honest about revealing. And there's also a genetic component to this.
Yes, it is.
How many lifelines can you go back down and see that, oh yeah, bipolar has been ever present here.
Yes.
Or a lot of disorders have been
Yes.
existing here. But what have we been good at doing?
We just shunning away
right
from
on
it
over.
and sweep it under the rug.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
stay away from Priscilla.
Yes.
She ain't
Yeah.
kind of, but just
family knows.
just
Yes.
or
She crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
child,
trying to be
Yeah.
like, or stay away from Uncle Johnny. Don't be your baby.
Yeah.
Don't hit your baby.
Anything you say, they special, so
Yeah, just
special.
having.
Yeah.
even know, I remember a young man who was mental retardation. He had but he was like homebound. You only knew he was there because you went in the home.
Oh, wow.
And eventually he became institutionalized to that degree.
A grown man.
They call that agoraphobic.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they're afraid to go outside.
But it was not even necessarily a fear on his behalf. The family
just
didn't want
just
anybody to
kept
know.
okay.
Kept him in.
They kept him inside.
Hidden.
So that was an easier way to deal.
Yes.
Now, no social interaction,
Wow.
no support groups. There are all kind of different things for you to have a quality of life. But because the family tradition is to hide,
Yes.
that's your legacy.
Yes.
Isn't
That's
that
the
something?
legacy. Yes.
In our black community, we, for years, we're taught to hide a lot.
Yes. You don't
We're
talk
taught to hide
You don't
mental
talk
health issues. We're taught to hide
health
sexual
issues.
abuse
Health
issues,
issues, yeah.
health issues,
You don't know.
especially our black men.
Yes.
I can
Oh,
tell y'all now,
especially.
they do not come to the doctor.
No.
And when I see them in the ER, they're almost on their last leg.
serious, right.
And I have to talk to them and tell them, listen, Pop, you got to take this high blood pressure medicine.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you're going to have a stroke, a heart attack, and you're going to be dead. And you know what some of them tell me? Well, it's my time to go.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right, Deborah. You're
How many times
absolutely
have I
right.
heard that?
Yes.
You're so non-compliant.
Yes.
You're diabetic and you won't eat right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't take your blood sugar often.
And we've got to also consider too, because I know this is a struggle for me. My palate is seasoned. So you just can't serve me a plate of bland food.
Yeah.
True.
You know, you can.
That's
Is it true or not?
That is absolutely
We used to put hot sauce on it, lemon pepper on it,
Yeah.
goya on it.
you douse the salt before you even taste the food.
It's a life-changing.
It's a
life-changing thing. I remember when I was a clinical manager for dialysis.
Yes.
And you see a lot of us there on dialysis. In my unit, I had a 12-chair unit. Every day, all you saw was black.
Yes.
I had one white, 2 Hispanics. Everybody else was blacks. And I remember this one man came in, and I was telling him foods he had to avoid. And I got my paper going over there, see, you gotta eat this, that. And I finished, he looked at me just as serious, like 70-something years old. He was like, well, I can't have no more hormones. I had to keep my professionalism. I said, you know what? You can have it for Thanksgiving.
Once a year.
But it's retraining our brain.
Yeah.
It is.
Even for the conversation I had right now for lifestyle. Because I've done quick fixes that have worked well.
Mhm.
Right.
Now I want a lifestyle.
Right.
Since I'm
You have to.
educating and teaching other
Right.
people, I learn about metabolism and
Yes.
different things that work or don't work for you as an individual.
Right.
I didn't realize
Because
how
everything don't work
individual
for
it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Very,
Yes,
very
ma'am.
Even
individualized.
pica.
Yes.
Yo, yes, pica. My mom.
It's
Yes.
strong
Very
in the
strong.
black community.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Mine was
Still is.
ice.
Really?
Yes.
You like the ice?
Still
Yeah.
is. Cups. Gulp.
Wow.
Big gulps.
Only ice for me, I'm anemic.
Oh, you're probably
Yeah.
you
A lot of
To the degree
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I advanced to fusions in the hospital.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
That's how bad it
Yeah,
was.
that's why you do pica.
But to tell me to stop and not eat the ice, I got a problem with you.
Right.
Because it was so good.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize pica
Yes.
is
Yeah.
a form of dysfunction that
Yes.
needs to be addressed.
Mhm.
But it's right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because now I've curved
Right.
and I'm trying to get there. But do I still want ice?
Absolutely.
Oh my
And
God.
yes, you still
And
will.
Sonics.
Oh, I heard
Somebody,
it.
oh my God. They got them little small old curve.
They have the ice
The
there.
perfect kind of ice
Yeah.
that you can sit there and crunch all day long.
Damages your teeth, Sabrina.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
There's a team.
In addition to everything else.
Yeah.
But I had to learn that after years of
Yes.
dealing with it.
Yes. Try some iron supplements.
I do. But I had the issue with iron. Here's where we go back and forth. Now it's constipation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things.
Like I told Priscilla.
See, all these things you
Yeah,
do.
but
I was
that's they
taking
do.
an iron
I
supplement.
told you the, like 3 handful of raisins
Yes,
every
she
day.
told
That's
me
the
that.
best thing
Is that
for hemoglobin.
I'm gonna try
that.
Now let me tell you something
Yes.
else. I'm an anemic patient also.
Okay.
I was taking ferrosequels. They're not making them anymore. I
Really?
went all the way to the vitamin shop
Wow.
because
They
of
stopped?
COVID. They called me back because of COVID. They're not able to get the raw materials
Wow.
that goes in.
Wow.
But I've been taking it for a long time, Sabrina. No constipation. But I also have a lot of fiber in my diet.
Okay.
I eat
I've been pushing the greens.
oatmeal every day,
Okay.
and I'm no way have no constipation.
Good.
So I still have a little bit to get me through. They
Yes.
told me they hoping in 2-3 months to
They'll be
get the
ready to
materials to
Oh,
make
good.
the iron pill. But I've been on
Please
that
send me
ferro-
that.
I will send you
So I
that.
can tell my patients,
Yes,
you know, that's good to know.
ferrosequels.
Exactly.
But if you don't have these conversations,
Yep.
you kind of
You
figure
know.
you're alone.
Yeah.
I'm the only one over here dealing with this.
You're
Then no, I'm cornstarch, dirt.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I haven't craved
Yep.
ice in years.
Yep.
I haven't had to do
Goodness.
ice in many years.
Yeah, my mom used to eat the pica, the cornstarch. She used to-
Cornstarch.
My mom did that.
I
Yeah.
had a lady who was pregnant.
But one thing too, I was saying to piggyback off Priscilla with the being diabetic and the eat right. I mean, I changed my diet. I took meat out of my diet, beef and pork, over 20 years ago.
Wow.
I stopped eating chicken and turkey about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm just a pescatarian.
So you
And-
fish.
Just fish. I just
Okay.
do fish. And I remember I was dating this one guy, and I went to him with his family to a get together, and he was like, "Well, they go think you bougie." I said, "What do you mean?" Because you don't eat pork.
My husband told me
I
the same
can't stand
thing.
it. I'm like, why? Really?
Yep.
Because I don't eat meat, so I'm bougie?
Wow.
Where did that come from? Really?
It's
Or
it's
you're
like
not black 'cause you don't
offensive.
eat meat.
Yes, yes.
It's a mentality.
My husband
That's
told me,
it.
he said, don't
That's it.
refuse
Stop
anything.
right here.
Then
Don't
the
say
main
no.
thing,
Yes.
then it gets here too. The worst one I had, but your butt still big.
Ah.
Meat don't make your butt big.
Exactly.
That's absolutely right.
That's Janelle.
Oh, but your butt big. You still wide.
Well, I'll tell you this though, like me and my friend Farron was talking day before yesterday. We both were dealing with some things, our hormones, we researching.
Yeah.
But July would be out 3 years. I went vegan. 3 years it'll be
okay.
3 years, no meat, no dairy. And for
You
me,
still
it
got
was
some booty?
something.
Okay.
And for me, it was something
That's
that I
in the water,
never
whatever
like
water.
even
Exactly.
planned. But when I tell you, it's showing me, and I tell people, veganism is not maybe for everyone.
Exactly.
You, like you said, you tap into research. With the spirit of God, you get your good nutritionist, you get your doctor that you trust, but you have to still do your own legwork. These kind of conversations, exchange information, and then you go back to the drawing board and you continue to do what will work for you. And veganism works for me. But what I want to say is, just going vegan, like I said, me and Farron was talking about this, how it has impacted my mind. I used to have anxiety.
Wow.
Bad. Like when I was in high school, I used to have panic attacks. The older I've gotten, like I don't have as many panic attacks or any. But I noticed when transitioning over to a vegan diet, and I heard people saying it before, like, oh, you're gonna be more calm, your mind. And I'm like, child, y'all just saying all that. It ain't serious. Literally, I didn't believe them. And when I went vegan, as I've transitioned over more and more,
you've noticed,
like any little, like something that some news can come to me or something, and I would get more anxious about it before. Now I notice my mind is like, okay, like
you know,
and I could tell you it makes a food, and that's something I'm very passionate about more so. Like I said, not to just say, hey, go vegan, but to really make that connection of food and mental health, food and our actual physical health, food, and, because food is very powerful. It really can.
It is. And even the essential oils and different things that come from the earth. I've begun to do a lot of research, and even like the lavender and the tea tree oil and the lemon oil and how they cross over. We even are using food extracts in that way and different things that are very natural. But were we taught this?
Come on. No, not at all.
Not taught.
I know that's a conversation that didn't come up in my home.
I learned about the lemon water.
Yes.
Since we've been going through that with COVID for the last month, I take a bottle of water and I cut a half of a lemon and squeeze it in.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I've been taking. I drink water all day. I'm a water drinker all day.
Keep you from doing urinary tract infections too.
I drink lemon water.
Especially for women.
Yes. I just one because I hear it's good for the pH. But too much of it, it's not so good for you. So half of a lemon to one bottle of water.
You good for
it's fine. But speaking of the weight loss, I joined Weight Watchers 6 years ago.
Yes.
I've lost 50 pounds. I've maintained it. I've gained 5-6 pounds back here. But I've learned how to eat differently. I say, okay, if I'm gonna have lunch, because Weight Watchers taught me that you don't deprive yourself of anything. If I want me a cookie, sometimes they mess with me at work and say, that's not Weight Watchers. I say, don't worry about that. I'm eating that. So I drink my little Corona, they're like 3-4 points. I'm but I kind of got it up here now. And it's a mental thing. I weigh in every Thursday. I don't always go to the Weight Watchers meeting and stay like I used to, but I weigh in. It's accountability. That's for Priscilla. That's what I need. So sometimes the ladies say, oh, you gained a pound. I say, okay, I had fun doing that. She said, you're never upset when you gain. No, I'm not upset. I'm realistic. I did that.
But I finally had the conversations even about metabolism. Because my doctor wants blood work and all of that. You get it back and you're able to look at some things. And she was like, my PCP was like, your metabolism, you actually should be eating like 6 small meals a day. She said, because you draw back and you may go here, your body is storing. So it's preserving. But in my mind, I'm telling you, I'm not eating no 6 meals a day. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not getting, she's saying it's not the quantity. It's the content, it's the quality. And to have a meal in between where you maybe have some vegetables in here or some fruit or nuts or whatever, something that's wholesome. But here, I'm stuck. All I heard was 6 meals. I'm like, I need to talk to somebody else. She's not talking my language right now.
You know, 2 handful of raisins.
I'm going to do that because I know what it's like to sit there all day and get iron and have it pumped in. But in the midst of it, I'm watching like cancer patients and different people who are getting all kind of treatment. And I'm like, God, I don't want to be here.
That's right.
So now I can drive by Sonics. I'll find my way coming all the way from out west to come over here to Sonics.
Wow.
And if I get close, I turn. I say, because I'm damaging me.
I
got to do better about me.
It's all mental.
It's all mental. And by the time I turn and go somewhere else, I think I forgot about it. It'll come back later. I'll be like, yeah, but you're a liar. You're a liar.
You do it in moderation. So like even like you said, it's retraining the brain. And like really looking at your habits. And even with BB, I tell people it's a choice. I'm choosing. I don't deprive myself of not having meat. And I don't have a bad relationship with meat.
Right.
Meat didn't do nothing to me. It's maybe how I was taught about meat and how much of it I ate and how I ate it. But me and me have a good relationship. I just choose. It's a choice. I'm still in control. I'm choosing not to. When I tell people, whenever you're making a change, but sis, and I believe y'all do. Like you don't just strip away something and not put something alternative in place. But I'm like, me and sweets is the thing. But I'm like, listen, Coretta, like even with being vegan, I'm pulling away. I pulled away from a lot of processed stuff. The mock meats and mock food. But like on a holiday here and there, I may have me a vegan burger that looks so much like meat is processed worse than meat. But I detox my body maybe the next day. I don't eat that every day. I don't buy it. So you adjust and you make. That's how you win with doing. Other than that, you'll feel
moderation.
You feel boxed in.
We would like to thank our sponsors, Vell Entertainment, photography, video, and promotions. Inner Journey Yoga Studio.
On set at the Cultural Pearls of Wisdom show. I know you've been tuning in, and guess what? If you haven't, there's still time for you to do so. There are many more episodes coming your way. Listen, this is all about us being enlightened, empowered, and educated. This is food for your mind, spirit, and soul. I'm just saying. So continue to rock with us, and if you haven't already been rocking with us, get on board. It's time to go.
Hey you. Yes, you. I want to say thank you. Why do I want to thank you? I want to thank you for being a committed part of the Cultured Pearls of Wisdom show following. The interest has been amazing. The excitement has been a bit overwhelming, but we're just grateful for what God is doing through this newly created platform. And we encourage you to continue watching, to like, to share, to continue to engage, and help us on our mission to educate, to empower, to enrich, and to elevate minds, hearts, and spirits that have been somehow and in some way impacted adversely by this life. We all know pain, we all know challenges, we all know trauma in some form, but we also know healing and the beauty of what it's like to get on the other side. Stay with us. We have some amazing, amazing features to come. God bless you. So, ladies, as we come to the close of what has been truly an amazing, amazing table conversation, I want to advance back to COVID-19 real quick. What recommendations or guidance do you have for people quarantining at home, those who are asymptomatic in that realm, even antibody testing? What information do you have, or what would you share?
I would say don't watch the news all day long. It's stressful. I'm an MSNBC junkie. I love MSNBC, but I find myself turning from it to the Hallmark Channel, watching a little love scene movies. And if you're stressed about it or you're depressed, get some therapy. Talk to somebody. Reach out to your family, your friends. Do something fun. Me, I'm a person that leave the house in the morning. I'm window shopping. Everybody know me. No, Macy's is my place. I haven't been able to go out and do it. And it's been okay.
Yes.
I soul searched and found some things about Priscilla.
Yes.
And I sat back and I put my bad knee up with the arthritis. And I'm a reader. I'm an avid reader. So I've just been spending some time with me.
Yes.
And it feels good.
Yes.
And so if you can do something positive while you're at home, quarantining, please do so. Don't think that it's over. Because it ain't over, y'all.
And if we're not careful, we're in a full-blown second wave.
Well, it's probably more deadly than the first one.
Yes.
So when you're home quarantining, continue doing the things that you always did. While you're at home, keep your hands washed. Watch who comes to your house.
Amen.
Because you have people out there that comes to your house, they've been everywhere.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they walk in your door and they bring that COVID with them.
Yes.
Although you've been quarantining, doing whatever you're supposed
Now
to
it's
do.
right in your
Now
face.
it's right in your face. So
Yes.
continue to wear your mask when your guests come over. Make sure you use your hand sanitizer and soap and water at all times. And if you feel like you need to disinfect when they leave, spray your door handles with your Lysol or whatever you do. Do what you do to keep yourself safe.
What would be your message to those who find it offensive for you to come around them with masks? You don't need all that. We don't need all that. What would you say to them?
Well,
That's their mentality. I'm sorry.
I see your face.
Sorry. I'm wearing my mask.
And
I'm going to wear my mask because the main thing, like I said, you don't know who's asymptomatic that's a carrier.
Right.
You can be a carrier of that. So
Right.
you don't know. I'm not coughing. I have no shortness of breath.
Yes.
I don't have no fevers, but I'm asymptomatic.
Right.
So in the Black community, the virus, we are so much prone to have it because it comes to where we live, where we work,
Yes.
where we play, and where we sleep.
Yes.
Think about it. So Black people, you're in more conjugated
Concentrate.
That's right.
areas and stuff. We don't have big houses. Prime example.
Yes.
I have a patient that came in, he was upset. Oh, I want to go home because my house is big. My wife can be way on the other side. I don't even see her. I'm like, wow, that must be nice. Because your home is self-quarantine that far from her, but a lot of us can't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
because we live with a lot
We
of
live with
families.
that's right. We live with
That's
family.
You know, and
Exactly
then
right.
especially these young ones who's
Yeah.
20, 21,
Yeah.
they're not going to get it. So they go out and do what they
Well,
want.
I had to tell my son that,
Yeah.
you know, when this kind of first started, he went over visiting. I said, I called him and my husband to the living room. I said, because that's when we meet in the living room. It's
Yeah.
on. It's
serious.
Yeah.
I said, listen, this is the last time that you will go out of this house visiting anyone. The next time you go out and visit, you have to stay there.
Yes.
Because I'm a healthcare provider. I'm on
Right.
the front line. If I'm not going to bring it in here,
Amen.
then I'm
You're not
definitely
gonna
not
bring
going
it
to take a
in.
risk of you bringing it in.
Yes, that's
So
what I told
no,
my son
no,
too.
none of that.
With me, I have a regiment when I get home from working every night. You probably do the same thing. Sometimes my son get mad because I forget to bring my nightgown, my little robe down and put it on the door in the back before I come down. And he said, why you? I said, RJ, I go upstairs, get I forgot. Before I come in the house, I called him, I got to bring it. So I go in, I take everything, I strip butt naked, take everything, put it in past the bed, take all this off,
I love
and
that.
put my robe on,
Yes.
and I run upstairs and take
do
my
the
shower.
shower.
Before I
Right.
even see my son, before I get everything.
I'm
Hey,
going to share
was
that
it.
with my husband.
Yes.
Yeah, do what you have to do because we don't know. Like I say, if
Yeah.
it stays
What
on
you're bringing
surface
in.
72 hours, you stay
Yeah.
on this for 72 hours.
Yes.
It could be on your clothes.
Yes.
You just don't know. Somebody probably cough. I go in the patient's room. They probably cough on me. I don't know. So you want to be safe than sorry.
I love that.
And the main thing too, if you self quarantine at home, still get exercise.
Yes.
My son, even doesn't have to be young
Yes.
or old, you still have to exercise. Go and walk in your neighborhood.
Yes.
2 or 3 times.
I go out and walk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ride a bike. Now
Yes.
bicycles is
That's a big
shortage.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son, he was so bored, he done put the air in the tires. Like, Mom, I rode all the way around here about 3 miles every day because you're bored. Get him out. Put your mask on.
Yes.
Go bicycle riding. That's a good exercise.
And there's a lot of videos and different things I found on television, even
Yes.
sitting in your car is different things. At my desk is different things I do now to keep myself going.
Yeah.
What about antibody testing? You have any knowledge or experience?
Antibody tested, that's if you had the previous infection. That's what the antibody testing would show. And what it does, it does not show current infection. It takes 1 to 3 weeks after you was infected to make the antibodies. So that's what it, people not realizing that.
Yes.
So like I said, if you do an antibody test, that show that you probably had it, but we don't know how long ago you had them.
Doesn't mean you can't get exposed
And
again.
don't mean, that's right, that's what they thought they said
Yes.
that. But
Because I heard that.
I have had several patients
Yes.
come back in exposed again.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was
Absolutely.
I'm like baffled because we didn't catch the disease. I'm like, well, why?
What happened?
What is this?
Right.
I'm like, okay, but Dr. Diaz, who is a plethora of knowledge, she makes sure she's up in there. When the patient come now, when we first got out, everybody talked about hydroxychloroquine.
Yes.
They use that. We stopped using that.
Your president
Everything-
uses it.
I don't believe he uses it. I
I think
believe
he
that
just said that.
he pushes it because
Yeah.
there's a beneficial
But
nature.
that was not a drug that everybody could use.
Right.
Especially
Yes.
at home because
I've heard the
it,
side effects
its
are
side effects
horrible.
are horrible
Yes.
because when you're in the hospital setting, we have you on the monitor. We can see your heart rate. But you at home, I can't see it. Your heart, your QT rate.
It's coming though.
It's coming. But now we use everything is experimental drugs that we use for this COVID-19 because nothing been FDA approved.
Right.
What we use now is called remdesivir. And we give you 5 days of that. You come in, I give you 200 milligrams IV the first time. Then the next 4 days, 100 milligrams or 4 days. And that has been working pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. But you have to get a consent. The patient has to consent.
Because it's still exploratory.
It's everything investigational drug. So I told my patient yesterday, a guy came in his 40s. Fevers, all he had was fever, 103. I said, wow, you cannot get your fever to break. I said, well, if it don't go down by the night, I said, do you mind consenting for the remdesivir? He said, yes. He came in, the next day his wife came in, last night his mother came in. Well, I just said, small confinement.
Yes,
all
they're
three
all
are positive.
Wow.
All 3 positive now.
But I just want to emphasize, it's still happening.
It's still happening.
Can we just clarify that? Can you look at the camera, please, and tell the people
it's still
out
happening.
Hasn't gone anywhere.
And
it's not going anywhere.
We're just in the eye, like I said, of the hurricane, but it's still.
And we don't want to go back in the
No, we don't want to go back to
in the name of
but
Jesus.
Yes.
And for those of you who are waiting because you saw all the protesters out there, some of those protesters were wearing masks.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting for the numbers to spike and think because in a couple of weeks that the numbers don't spike, it was a scam. Again, after you are seen by Roshan in the ICU and hopefully you recover, I'll see you on the ventilator. So keep thinking those thoughts.
Yeah.
Wow.
One good thing about this COVID-19, I have seen people recover.
Yes.
That's good. I have seen some die.
Yes.
And that's like a lot of people. Each hospital have a COVID unit, and everybody that you see as a nurse do not work on the COVID unit.
Right.
So the main thing why I said mess with your psyche because nurses are in that COVID unit when they get there. You cannot wear your clothes. You get there, you got to change the scrubs, and you're there from 7P to 7A. That mask on, all that N95 got all this indication in your mouth. Horrible, can't breathe. It's hard. Then you try to talk to a patient. They cannot understand you because you Can you understand what I'm saying?
No,
that's the way you sound. That's the way you sound. So, if you, like I said before, have a person that's hard of hearing, they can't hear you.
Right.
Like my patient yesterday, I went in there and everything suited up. The whole time I'm talking to him, he didn't say nothing. Just yes, yes. Then I didn't understand nothing you said. I can't hear that.
Wow.
So everything's just
you gotta go all over.
Yeah. So it's like it's very heartening and discerning for the patient because they don't. It's afraid. One thing about being an infectious disease, like I said before, I never thought I would see something like this. And one thing that made me cry, and some days I go home and my boyfriend, he'll call me, he'll ask me, what have you done today for your self-care? Yeah. And talking to him, that's helping me with self-care.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it does. Relaxes me. But I had a patient, the doctor came out, he said, Roshan, I never saw a grown man cry. That meant he worked on this patient for so long. But my thing was, when I saw this guy, a 50-something-year-old black man, fear in his eyes, and telling me, don't let him die.
Yes.
Wow.
Fear, and every time you think about it, I see that man's face to the day.
And it has to do something to you. You have to care about it. But I'm saying, especially, not if, but especially if you survive, why would you risk it again?
Right.
You should be even more stoic and more committed to making sure that you keep yourselves out of these situations. Why would I run the risk again?
Right.
If God allowed me to survive it.
Absolutely right.
Why would I do that? There's no sense of logic to it. So with that, we're going to take another break. And we're going to kind of diffuse. I would so respect your emotion. You know why? Because it tells me as a professional that you care.
That's real.
That you care about people. And this is real. And this is what we wanted to transition and articulate and make sure that get out to the community. Let's not deny the reality.
Yes.
Let's not reduce the seriousness.
Right.
And let's not ignore the consequences.
And like, we say, we can all speculate how COVID came about. But one thing's for sure, when you get it, it's sure enough real.
It's here.
Yes.
It's real.
I just like to say one thing to the community. you all have to understand what this has done to the healthcare community.
Yes.
We're tired.
Yes.
We can't take another round
No.
as it was the first
That's
time.
good. That's
You know
good.
what I mean? We're emotionally
Yeah.
drained.
I know
We're
I am.
physically drained. So we're asking, please do whatever you can to save yourselves
That's right.
and
I
your
love that.
family
I love that.
because we're
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
And we're human. We can only do so much.
Yep.
You know.
And imagine if we lose the bulk of you
Right.
all.
That's exactly
I
right.
can't even
Who's
imagine
gonna
what it's
take
going
care
to
of
be
you?
like.
Take care of
Who's
them.
gonna
I
take care
love
of
that
you?
you're here and available.
Yeah.
And the one thing I can tell for people who are truly serious, when the telephone call came for the invite for this, you didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not one of you hesitated.
Absolutely.
You took an hour and what
About an hour and 15-minute drive
to get here?
from work.
See?
That's dedication beyond anything that is regular.
And you know, I want to add one more thing. I'm a usually upbeat person, but I've had issues of being depressed
Yes.
about this, and also not knowing.
Yeah.
I've been a therapist 19 years, and I take blood from HIV patients, and never been scared of AIDS,
Right.
but so scared of COVID.
Oh,
Yes.
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 So
You
very
don't
scared
know.
of COVID.
You never know what day you will go in there and
It's that you get a splash.
Yes.
or
you
something.
don't know.
But
You
not
don't
only
know.
that, Miss Sabrina, you can do everything you do
Yeah,
every day.
exactly.
Yes.
Your same routine.
Everything.
Yes.
You
For
know.
2-3 months, you don't get nothing.
Yeah.
One day you just come out and you
Yeah.
positive
You
for
don't know.
COVID.
Yes.
I've been wearing gloves all week. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I was preparing dinner and I cut my finger.
Mm.
And I've been paranoid all week.
No, you're fine.
No,
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm being transparent here.
Yeah.
I've been paranoid all week.
You're
Oh,
fine.
you're not going to get close to this finger. Because my skin
Open.
open.
Yes.
You see how it works
Yeah.
on you?
It's a meditation.
But I think it goes back with, like I said, with consideration of all of that. That's why every day we have to continue to condition our mindsets and our spirits to be in the presence of God, whatever that looks like for us.
Yes.
Because we in this human body and we in this
That's right.
world, we impacted daily.
Yes.
Like you said, you can get up and do your routine. You think, but by that night, by
That
lunchtime,
night,
you
yes.
are just to be
Yes.
around.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
just,
You know what's so funny you
Like
would
we
say
got
that,
the-
Coretta? Because
Yes.
any day when I'm walking through the parking lot, walking in the building,
Yes.
I'm asking God, Lord, cover me.
Yes.
Yes.
From
you
the
have to.
top of my head to the bottom of my feet.
Yes.
I put on the whole armor
It lets us
walking in
know
the
we
building.
need him
Because I don't know
every
what
day.
I'm walking into.
We don't, and he
No.
sees and knows everything. So it's like we have to rest in that. Although we can still be fearful and all that.
Right.
I'm like, you can be fearful, you can be afraid, all your emotions. I'm like, okay, this disease gonna belong to you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
exactly.
Lord help
Right.
me. So I think
I
that
have a
helps
client
lot.
who's been diagnosed with COPD.
COPD.
COPD, yes. And I know that she has it. And every time she coughs, in the name of Jesus, I know she has it.
And see,
And I know she's okay.
Bronchitis, yeah.
those people have COPD.
Yeah.
I mean, first thing we learn in respiratory school, I can tell people who smoke by their
Yes,
cough.
their cough.
I can look at the club of their fingers
Yeah.
and tell.
Yeah.
We're taught that. And like you said, that cough.
Yeah,
lets
but
you
you
know.
And it's deep.
Yes.
That thing you can hear
Yeah.
rattling in her
COPD.
chest. And I'm like, wow.
Yes.
She
Yes.
smokes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
smoking too.
There's a lot of things going on there, but I'm still saying, like, I can't distinguish
Yes.
between all
No,
of
you
this.
can't. You can't.
I just know she coming towards me. But I stood up and you know what she
Yeah.
said to me? She said, because she's been suicidal throughout.
So
She
can-
said, you did not leave me.
Oh, awesome.
She couldn't do virtual. She
Right.
couldn't figure it all out or everything else. I would suit up and I'll
Go
still
and
go.
see.
Right. We need support. We have
Yeah,
to
you
support
gotta
one
support
another.
Because I prayed more before I go in there. Being infectious disease, we see everything. When the doctor can't figure out what it is, what they do. ID. ID get every consult
Yep.
in the hospital. They can't figure. Because one of the doctors told me, he said, Roshan, when I was in med school, I didn't want to go in ID because the doctor, they told us that we can't figure out, send everything to ID. And we have to figure
We have to
it
figure
out.
it
So I have to pay for wisdom, knowledge, courage, understanding, and hope every day I go to work.
Amen.
Yes,
I got to figure
right.
out what's going on. Not
Amen.
because you come in with the COVID-19,
Yep.
but it's other
Yep.
comorbidities
That's
I have
right.
to look at
That's
too.
exactly right.
I have to look at the whole body.
Picture.
And then not only
Picture.
that, you have to, when you're asking your patient questions,
Yes.
you have to read between the lines.
I have to-
They don't
and
tell you
because they're
everything.
not telling you everything.
They won't
Oh.
tell you.
And I
Yes.
have to
Start from
everything.
scratch.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yes.
of nurses say, "Oh, I can't do ID because I don't care." I go in there, I have to ask, "What's your sexual preference?
Yes.
When the last time you had oral sex?
Yes.
When the last time you had?" I have to ask all those questions. And with who? And all this stuff. Like you say, people go lie.
They
Yeah.
Because you got to find out. You come in there with spinal on hand. Oh, that's syphilis. I know that's syphilis. So
Exactly.
who you been
Yes,
with?
right.
Who you been with? You got your girlfriend here.
And you
But,
deny him.
no, like, what's going on? No. You know,
or you've had a stroke.
You
And I only missed 2 blood pressure pills. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You missed more than 2
Come on.
blood pressure pills.
You need to.
You
That
ain't
what
been taking
They will
a blood.
tell you. They will tell you. So you got to read between lines.
Yeah, you
You
missed
gotta
more
get
than 2 pills. You ain't been
You
taking.
got to get everything.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to ask all the questions.
And then on our side of the spectrum for mental health, it's not necessarily confronting, but then it is. Because I have to call a thing a thing.
Yes.
I can't help you through all of that.
Come on.
Right.
There's no way possible I can sift through all of that and really get to the true reason why you're suicidal, why you're depressed, what is going on here, and to come to the understanding that we have work to do. Because a lot of people feel like it's a miracle wand, and we're gonna come in and we go, whoo, everything's good, go on about your business. That's not the way that works. If you're saying for medical and for our physical bodies that we have work to do.
Yes.
We got to figure things out, develop a plan, and follow healthy eating, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
What about our mental health?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people, we just assume everything's okay.
No.
It's not.
If you don't have good mental health, you can't have good physical health.
Right.
Because you not have the
It's mental.
mentality
That's right.
to take care of yourself.
That's
So
good.
mental health is really up top.
Yeah,
It is.
it's up top. It
You
is
know,
up top.
it's up top. Then your
Yeah.
medical health comes.
Yeah.
And then we can't separate it, which is why we're emphasizing so much mental health and spirituality fused. For those in the mental health arena, you understand that mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
Mind, body, and
And
spirit.
a spirit has a lot to do with maintaining mind and body.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I want y'all to hold on to that. Spirit has a lot to do with maintaining mind and body. Because when these two are compromised, your spirit will get you through a lot of
Right.
things.
Yes.
Your faith will get you
on.
through
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of
Yeah,
things.
your faith.
You gotta walk
Your
by faith.
substance in Jesus and
Come on.
knowing that He's your rock and knowing that He will carry you through when I can't get through it, when I can't walk and I can't move and I'm just that depressed I can't even get out of bed. God, you can't
No
carry me.
weakness
Yes.
is our strength.
Yes.
You can sustain me.
Like I said, when you have a husband, someone that's on the ventilator with COVID and been there for 2 months, I had spoke with one of my patient's wife. I told her I was coming doing this event, and I said, of course, say about your husband, but not use the name. She said,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
that's fine. But what made me happy, I was able to let her on my phone. I called him and let her see him, FaceTime him, and that made my day. And she just is so happy, and so she got a chance to see him. It just, you just know, I mean, that just made my day, made me cry. When I got home, I was so happy she was able to talk to him, even though he was on the ventilator, but at least she can see him.
She can see him.
At my
She can see
facility,
him.
we do that.
Yeah,
We
she
have
can
the
see
nurse
him.
manager go
Yeah.
around to every patient.
Yeah, you can do that.
The hospital bought 2
iPads.
iPads.
Yeah.
And we post it up, and the family
I
member
see
gets
it.
to
Yeah,
talk to them.
sounds
Sometimes
so
they're on
good.
an event, they can't talk back. And
And
I gotta say this, being in healthcare, sometimes the family members come to the bedside, sometimes they can be more than enough.
Yes.
But I can say that not being able to come see your loved ones,
Yes,
it has really gotten to me.
Yeah.
I said to my coworker yesterday, I said, wow, I'd be glad when we kind of reopen
I know.
and let them come in and look at because if my mama was in the hospital,
Yes.
I feel some kind of way not being able to go and look at her.
Because you put
So
yourself
that's
in
what they've
that
done.
person's shoes. Because like me, they'll call
That's
them,
hard.
tell me, all the family want ID to call them. I try to call them. I mean, sometimes I call at 7 o'clock at night. I'm still at work. I call to give an update from my perspective. What's going on. And I don't care. Sometimes I still call them. I was still up late last night dictating. Because sometimes my work is sometimes it's not done.
Amen.
Yes.
Do we know reports and
Yes.
billing and this and that? Amen. We do know it.
People, like I said, people don't see you in the outside. They see, she's up here, she's a nurse practitioner, but they don't see the hard work you have to do. It's a lot doing this. Because basically, you're just like a doctor.
Yes.
When I go to
Right.
the hospital, see them patients, Dr. Diaz,
Yep.
I'm representing her.
That's right.
I order everything. I call her. They give updates, what's going on and stuff and everything. But I'm the one that doing this here.
And she
she's doing the
trusts
same
you.
thing. She main thing, got to trust.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this up. And we're going to wrap this up with profound wisdom in our final parting words. So we're going to start with Coretta, and we're going to go around the table. I'm going to go to Priscilla, Deborah, Rashawn, and then I'll finalize it out. Give us a good word for the people.
Sure.
We've established that COVID-19 is very real. It's very present. It's a very concerning situation. So now what?
Yeah. I would definitely say, you just said it in so many ways, but keep your faith. You have to believe in something bigger than you. And as me and Sabrina, as these women sit here and other guests that have been on this show, we represent Jesus Christ. And with all respect, if you don't believe that, hands down to you, that doesn't mean that you're not loved or that I don't even love you. But I would say, hold on to your faith. Hold on to your faith. And if you don't know Christ for yourself, please just become more open-minded to that. We're praying for you. We love you.
Yes.
But our faith, you said it, will get us through so much.
Yes.
If nothing else is dependable, like if your money, you can have $100 in the bank today, and the next minute it can be gone. You can sit in this chair and it can fall apart. But one thing I can say as a witness to the faith, my faith in God and the hope in Jesus Christ, something that I thought I couldn't get through. But when I let go of it and I let God showed up and showed out at my weakest and most vulnerable hour. So if you have nothing else, if you tried other religions or other things, I don't know. But I encourage you to try Jesus Christ today.
Amen.
For whatever you're going through, COVID-19, whatever it is, God is on the throne and He's ready to step in and to see you through whatever it is.
Amen.
Amen.
What about you, Priscilla?
What I can say is, Coretta said it all. I walk by faith, not by sight.
Amen.
Everything that I do, I look to the hills from whence cometh my help. And I know all my help and my strength come from God. Every day I ask God to cover me. I ask Him to keep me humble. And I ask Him to help me learn to trust and know that everything that happens for the good of those that love the Lord. Mm-hmm. And truly I love God. And I know that He loves me, because without Him, I am nothing.
Amen.
Amen.
I just want to say on the medical part, stay safe,
Yes.
keep your hands washed, keep your mask on,
Yes.
and stay social distance. And hopefully we all can get through this. And like these young ladies said, by the faith of God, and keep prayer in your life.
Amen. Amen. Rushan?
Also, from a healthcare perspective and infectious disease, this COVID-19 is still real, so still take heed at what's going on. Also, remember, God give all of us time, talent, and treasures.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
And I want to close this by saying, positively change your brain.
Yes.
And in the process, you're going to positively change your life.
Come on.
When we know better, we are charged with doing better.
Amen.
And if you're willing to risk yourself, just understand inside of COVID-19 and other situations, you're risking others as well.
Yes.
And I'll be hard pressed to believe that risking yourself is important enough for you to potentially see your loved ones very sick or perish, or all of the different things that we know could be the resulting reality. Let's come together and let's stay together, but let's lead with facts.
Amen.
Let's stop all of this fiction and dispel the myths and all these untruths and different things that we safeguarded for years. Again, once you know better, it is our charge to you. Everybody at this table, anybody watching this, let's do better. God bless you.
To be continued on the next episode of the Cultured Pearls of Wisdom show. Check out this sneak peek.
The moment we get settled in, it's like, okay, this is enough.
Yes.
This is enough. We've seen enough, but we have not seen enough.
No.
It's like, okay, you guys can go to the same schools. Aren't you happy? You can eat at the same lunch counter. Aren't you happy? You can shop at the same store. Aren't you happy? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not happy until all full rights are given to me that is promised to me with liberty and justice for all. ALL.
Under the Constitution.
Exactly.
And that is saying, don't assume because you've given me a little that you've given me much.
Exactly.
Because you haven't given me everything.
Exactly.
Because they go look at you because you're black and a woman, like you don't know what you're talking about. They come to me, oh, you're Dr. Diaz's nurse practitioner? Yes, I am. What do you need? Oh, I need this. Oh, okay, sure, no problem. I got it. I have to know. That's why you have to know everything, because they want you to say, oh, I don't know this, but no, I know all.
And I know that you'll be tested.
Yes.
I know people
Every day.